must score to win or we go to round 5.
Ollie, and wide. Coco Sally,
A 15th constellation added to the stars. Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to Soccer's Overtime, your weekly look inside the San Diego Soccers and the Major Arena Soccer League. And now, coming to you live on Twitch. Craig Elston, Jerry Jimenez, your humble podcasters, back with you for Season 4, Episode 5 of Soccer's Overtime. We are just 5 days away from the soccer season opener, Jerry. I mean, it's our old podcast. It's just like old times, but something feels different around here.
So just a little different, sir. I'm so excited. By the way, I just 100% want to apologize for any sort of issues that we may be dealing with today. This is the first time we're trying this out, Craig. I am so excited. As a matter of fact, you said you like this better, so we're going to go ahead and change it up. Hey, but I'm ready, though. Hey, like our good friend Landon Donovan would say, I have my my apple juice ready in my Ron Newman Cup Champions pint glass here. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers to you, my friend.
Here to go.
Forgot to get the Ron Newman Cup pint glass. Just left it in the can. Sorry.
Oh, man. Come on.
We're working first time on video. Got to think about these things. Really got to think about production value now. It's like, you know, I'm an old radio guy. I'm used to just being in a dusty studio and like, you know, blow the dust off the mic and get ready to go. But instead, here we are. We are live with all of you. Thanks to our first adopters. We'll never forget your names. The folks who came in as our original followers, the folks who came in as the first to check us out here on twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers. Why do I say the name when you're watching? Because, of course, this is also the Soccer's Overtime podcast. So hello to each and every one of you who had no idea we were on Twitch for one reason or another, and you're just listening to this on audio for the first time. Go ahead, download that Twitch app on your phone, on your tablet. There's a way to do it on Roku, I heard, as well. And hit follow for San Diego Soccers, and you'll be notified. But, hey, make a note of this as well. Put it in your calendar, right, Jerry? Tuesdays at 5 p.m. This is our recording time. We're putting our flag down. Tuesdays at 5 p.m. is when you'll hear Soccer's Overtime live on Twitch.
I'm glad we're trying new things out. And so far, so good. It looks like we have quite a few people here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. If we are in your ear right now only and you can't see us, try out Twitch, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. We're going to be here for you guys, bringing you the latest in soccer's news. So, yeah, I'm super stoked, excited, also very nervous that I'm going to mess something up. But I'm going to do my best. I'm taking the producer, responsibility very serious. And we're doing like last minute stuff too. That's like, and you said this is like the life of radio, and I don't know if I'm cut out for that, Craig. But we'll get through it. I promise.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You got to roll on the fly. You just got to let it go. You know, as Bill O'Reilly once said, F it, we'll do it live, and that's what we're gonna do right here on the show today. So we've got a lot of things to talk about, as we mentioned. Hey, Soccers actually play an MASL regular season game this Saturday, taking on the Tacoma Stars, 7 p.m. from Acesso Showwear Center up in Kent, Washington. Soccers and Stars rematch of the first round of the Ron Newman Cup Finals, those two overtime classics. All of the action for you will be available on MASL TV on YouTube, the home of the MASL for 2021-2022. Go ahead, subscribe to MASL TV on YouTube the next time you head over to the platform. And by the way, join us out at the Dana in Mission Bay at 7 o'clock for our watch party coming up this Saturday. We've got more to talk about that coming up. And in fact, Jerry, we've got so many different things we need to discuss. We'll go through the season ticket member party, everything that happened on Sunday, give you a first look, if you're watching on video, to the kits that the San Diego Sockers will be wearing in 2021-2022. If you joined us right at the top of the broadcast at 5 o'clock, you saw the updated hype video for 2021-22 created by our Justice Parman. We've got a brand new championship video as well. We're going to talk about the latest news from around the MASL, including an incredible start for the Florida Tropics, a not so incredible start for Utica City FC, and for the Dallas Sidekicks. And we'll look ahead to this weekend's games and the potential impact, Jerry, something that we were just talking about with GM Sean Bowers at just a couple days ago, the new ball, and potentially what the changes to the ball could mean for changes to the game.
Yeah, that's a big one. So we got to experience that new ball a little bit. Hurts from some players, their thoughts on it as well. So, a lot of different things coming into this. I'm very excited to see the new kits. I think that kind of leaked a little bit too online.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Places. That's fine. But those kits they look great in person. I love them. And I'm excited to get into all of that and show everybody.
A little bit later on in the show, joining us live will be Kris McCarthy. He's the co-founder of FanSaves, and the Sockers have teamed up with the FanSaves app to give a chance for all of their fans to experience the discounts that the Sockers have worked out with all their various different corporate partners. So a great chance to kind of integrate with the Sockers family and get some savings around town. We'll tell you more about that coming up in about a half an hour or so on the show. And if we can download it, we've got a nice interview with Sean Bowers as well to bring along with you. One of these days, we'll get that to you. But Jerry, let's first off just kind of talk about what we're doing here on Twitch. So what are we doing here on Twitch? Why are we here?
Well, we want to make sure that we, first of all, reach out to a bigger audience. I think that this is also kind of weird. Like, I had to do my hair. Usually when we record Sockers overtime, I don't have to worry about any of that. So it's
me too. I did my hair too. Did you notice?
Yeah, no, and also the big part, I think, Craig, is yeah, I can see it. Yeah, you do. I think one of the biggest parts is the interaction. We're seeing some of those comments coming in. We can actually bring some of those comments into this podcast here live on Twitch and interact with you guys and be able to say hi and answer some of your questions. Have you folks see this year's kits? See, that's Gabriel in here already in the chat. And here's another one. Live Sockers content. I'm here for it. Yeah, so are we. Absolutely. No, so
we're literally here for it. We're doing it.
Absolutely. We have to be here. I'm glad we're here. There's a lot of new people in here. Look, Kaylin's in here. Hello, sir. The voice of Grand Old Arena. There it is.
Love it. Welcome, Callan.
But we can
tell Callan about some of our production stuff the other day that we're working on for this week's for the season opener and more. So excited for all the surprises we can bring the fans along the way the next few weeks.
So much in the works, so much we can't talk about, but a lot we can talk about. So part of what we want to do here on Twitch is just bring you in and make you feel more a part of this community, which we're so happy to have you along for the ride. This is totally new for all of us. So appreciate your patience, but at the same time, also hope that you are willing to add your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions, reactions, anything that you want to this, and help us make this better. Help us make this for you and what you want to see.
There's definitely a lot of potential for this platform, Jerry, in terms of content that we can generate during the course of the season. And as you know, we've been in touch with JP Della Camera on the league level, just keeping everyone in the loop in terms of, hey, this is our first step. We're starting with something we know, right? The show that we've done for you so many different times over the course of 4 seasons, Soccer's Overtime. So, hey, hang your hat here. This is the first step. This is our beachhead, so to speak. And we will expand as we get the hang of the content and you guys get the hang of coming on over to this place and making this a place that you're willing to check out and that you bookmark and that you follow. At that point, we're going to start stepping into some more live content. So we're going to do that old Ron Fowler saying of we want to under promise and over deliver. In circumstances like this, we're not going to just say, oh, hey, we're going to go do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. This is the start. More is to come. And the more followers we get, the more folks we have that are on board for the experience, the more that we're going to try and do. Absolutely. So really excited about being here on Twitch. And for everybody who's listening on the podcast right now, thanks for suffering through that segment with us. Let's talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend, Jerry, because, man, what an active weekend for the San Diego Sockers franchise. I think you have to go back and start with Thursday and photo day, the opportunity to take the team photo that'll be later on the team poster that we give away in the second half of the season, all the individual photos, all the individual player animations and video stuff, and setting up different segments for the scoreboard, different fun things that we'll be doing during the course of the game, like all of that kind of content generation behind the scenes stuff. That was all on Thursday. Friday, the Sockers annual charity golf classic, and we say annual, but there wasn't one last year because of COVID. So our charity golf classic benefiting Traveling Stories, incredible, basically sold out, raised almost $10,000 for Traveling Stories, which is just amazing for local literacy, for disadvantaged youth. Really excited to be able to present a big check to them down on the floor before a game coming up later this season. But I think everyone just had an amazing time on Friday. Big shout out to Shane Brown, to Sean Bowers, to everybody in our soccer staff, and to the folks at Mount Woodson Golf Course as well, for being incredible partners, letting us pull that off without a hitch. And that wasn't it, man. We still had one more to go, because Sunday it was our season ticket members party at the Dana at Mission Bay, and a chance to see our season ticket holders again face to face, for them to see the players and interact, to see those new kids, which we revealed to them. We showed them the championship video first, showed them the hype video first, showed them the kids first, and really got a chance to get everybody on the same page for the 2021-2022 campaign. So, man, wow, so many exciting things happening. And it's because, look, season's here. It's time to get rolling.
Time to get going. And here's the thing too, I took a deep breath there because there was so much going on this last weekend, but such exciting stuff. And shout out to everybody that was there at the golf tournament. By the way, I think everybody can agree that all of last year can be thrown into the trash, except for the 15th championship the Sockers brought home. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't count. So it's still annual. So that's fine. The other thing is, the season ticket members get such awesome benefits, like being able to see everything before anybody else does. The hype video that you guys saw at the beginning of this whole stream was viewed by the season ticket members before anybody else. Shout out to Justice, who's doing a fantastic job on that, by the way. And they got to leak the kits before anybody else did, because they were the first ones to see it. So there's a lot of benefits being the first to be there as a season ticket holder. If you're listening to this and you're on the fence about becoming a season ticket holder, trust me, there is so many benefits from that. Jump on that right now. But what else happened? Was there anything cool that happened like during the season ticket member? So I wasn't there. So I feel like, I need to live vicariously through you, sir. Like, can you kind of walk me through like what happened really quick so we don't spend too much time on it? But
well, absolutely. I mean, let's just talk about a couple of really cool things. For example, Jacques Ladouceur was there, and a 6-time San Diego Sockers champion from the great teams from 1984 to 1992. He was part of all of those teams in San Diego. He is a 2-time author, has a new book called Racing a Pro Athlete, that he was there. Really insightful, cool conversation that we had to have with Jock. Julie V was there, of course, just simply the greatest of all time, and had the chance to sign some of his amazing lithographs. We had a raffle for our season ticket members to give away a number of different things, including some signed Julie V lithographs, including season passes to see SD Soccers 2 and the the developmental team for the Soccers that'll be playing at 12:30 before 5 o'clock home games, including December 19th's home opener. So had that opportunity to kind of give back a little bit to the season ticket members. As you mentioned, debuted the videos, showed the kits, and we had a cool Q&A session with Craig Childs, Boris Pardo, with Felipe Gonzalez as well. Chance to talk to those guys about the rules changes in the MASL, about what happened last season, about expectations for this season. Really interesting conversations. And lastly, but certainly not least, season ticket members had a chance to ask me questions and to just say, okay, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? Why isn't this guy here? Why is this guy here? On and on down the line. Like I said, try and get everyone kind of plugged in on the same page and excited for the regular season to come. I mean, here it comes, Jerry, a 24-game regular season, a proper regular season for the MASL, for the San Diego Soccers. None of this 10-game weird, truncated, everyone makes the playoffs, we're just going to figure it out as we go. None of that stuff. We're back to real. And it's pretty exciting. Yeah, we're back to the real, man. So real. It's exciting to see where this is going and that the journey is just underway. I mean, last year you start off, you lose a couple games, you're like, oh man, can we even finish 500 anymore? Because there's 10 games in this season, 24 game schedule. Everything's going to change, evolve. The league will continue to evolve over 4 months. I just can't wait for the journey to truly begin here on the West Coast. We've seen it on the East Coast. Let's see it on the West Coast now.
Yeah, no, we're watching all the games and going, oh, it's almost time. We're almost there. And now it's actually almost there. But for us in the front office, we're like scrambling and getting everything done. But no, we're ready for it. I think that the team is looking good from what I have heard. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that and a little bit further in this podcast and what those practices have been looking like. But
yep.
As we go along, by the way, Craig, I am going to bring in some comments from the people that are here with us today on Twitch. By the way, thank you. Feel free to send us some comments, questions, whatever you want, reactions, how you feel about what we're talking about. It's just going to throw on there. Don't worry about it, Craig. If you see something and you want to talk about it, that's cool. But I'm just going to throw it on there so that we're looking at you. We're seeing what you have to say because it's very important. Yeah, so I want to make sure you know.
Before I say anything else, too, let's remind everybody that Soccer's Overtime is proudly presented by 3 Punk Gales. And if you're watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers, you see the logo. You see the logo of Los Jefes down in Chula Vista, of Steve-O and Kevin and the rest of the gang down at 3 Punk Ales brewing the best beer in the South Bay. We play Beyond the South Bay by Bobby Cressy as our theme song to Soccer's Overtime every single podcast, and that is in part an homage to 3 Punk Ales. Check them out, their tasting room down at 3rd Avenue in Chula Vista, right there in the heart of downtown, and tell them Soccer's Overtime sent you. I have a feeling if you tell them Soccer's Overtime sent you, they might just pour you a $5 pint. So give it a try. See what happens. Never hurts to ask. Go ahead and do it at 3 Punk Ales, our friends. Second year in a row that they've sponsored the podcast. We're going to have live events down there. We're going to have to bring all this recording mumbo jumbo, Jerry, down to 3 Punk and get this done for our live podcasts as well. So a lot of fun that is still to come.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When is the Soccer's IPA coming from 3 Punk Ales? That's a great question, kid.
Yeah, Steve, that is a great question. Steve Garcia. Where are you, Steve? Emo Brown? Come on. Where's that Soccer's fifth? Should it be 15% ABV AAA, a triple IPA for the Soccer's 15-time champions?
Jeez.
That might be even too much for Steve-O. They can only give you like a 4-ounce serving.
Imagine that. Oh, no. That does not sound like a good time at all.
Maybe. Give you a nice shot glass size of the 15%. Hey, they'll still make it taste good. That's for sure. I do love the interactivity, and when I see a question, Jerry, that's come in here on Twitch and pops up in our comment bar, I'm just going to answer it as it goes.
Yeah.
Procrastinating Puma asks, "Is this going to be the last or the second to last season at Pechanga?" And I'll tell you right now, Procrastinating Puma, it's the second to last season at Pechanga. The Sockers have 2 full seasons at Pechanga. That's guaranteed. That they will be there 2021, 2022, and they will be there 2022, 2023. The earliest the Sockers would move in to the arena they are building in Oceanside would be for the 2023-2024 MASL season. That's how it's laying out. That's why you're not seeing us do a whole ton of nostalgia, Grand Ole Arena, we're closing it down, type stuff. That's for next season. And as everybody knows, Jerry, in San Diego, building things is easy and super cheap.
Oh,
So
everybody's building around here. No one needs to bid for nothing. You just build it. It's allowed around here.
So, we assume everything will go off completely without a hitch, but actually we're planning that it probably won't because it's San Diego. You know what I mean? Look, it's San Diego. Things happen, but we're working on everything's happening. Everything's on track. But 2 more seasons at Pechanga to answer you, Procrastinating Puma. And if we Procrastinating Puma, well, then it'll be 3 seasons. So we don't want to procrastinate.
I was just thinking as you were going through the dates, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, imagine having drunk one of those Soccer's overtime IPAs from 3 Punk L's. It's going to be like 2022, 23, 24, 25. You're in the 30s all of a sudden.
You're going to wake up in the 30s and wonder what happened.
Yeah,
That's if you get overserved. No, only responsible in small amounts, the 15% ABV triple IPA that we've just made up in our minds for Suckers overtime. I want to eat it. I want to have it. Let's talk about a couple of things here. I want to throw up in just a moment our kit reveal graphics and show anyone who's tuned in on our Twitch stream who wasn't at the season ticket member party kind of what we're talking about. But let's talk team first a little bit because, we've already gotten some questions in the chat about it naturally. And it's one of those things, that until things are official, we have to do a little bit of the dance. So we're going to do just a little bit of the dance. We're going to dance a bit. When I turned up today, the Sockers had un gran oportunidad today, Jerry, because the field was down.
It's a great opportunity.
Because the field was down at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. First and only time for the Sockers before they play there on the 19th. And they had a chance to do a complete scrimmage tonight, this afternoon, I should say, which they did against SC Sockers 2. And they'll be back tomorrow morning and have a practice there once again before it's lifted back up for the Gulls, I believe, later this weekend. So really huge. And I'll tell you, when I walked in today, the soccer squad was a wee bit bigger than it was when I walked into training on Monday.
A little different.
A little bit bigger. When I walked out of training on Monday, Director of Player Personnel Cheeky Luna was on his phone in the parking lot. And I said to him, every time I see you on the phone, I imagine that you're on the phone with a player. Signing a player. And he kind of smiled and laughed at me and he said, well, maybe that's mostly true. And for one reason or another, but mostly because there's some injuries that are going to hit the Sockers at the very beginning of this campaign. We talked about it last week on the pod, right, Jerry? The Sockers were a couple berries short of a bunch at practice, and that looked like it could be a problem going into the season opener as well. But some guys, some faces that might be somewhat familiar, some that might have gone away and might be coming back a little bit, are on the verge of joining this Sockers team. We'll definitely have announcements before the club leaves to go to Tacoma on Friday. I saw some name speculation in the comments, and seeing as this is a podcast, I can just say, the things you're saying in the comments might very well be true. But seeing as no one knows what you said on the podcast because we haven't said them out loud, we have thus managed to skirt and do the dance, and we've managed to dance around.
I love that. No, I'm excited. Also, very stressed. So, in case you guys don't know, like we're a small front office, okay? So we take on a lot of work, and one of the things that I've been in charge of is creating the graphics for the new players that may be coming in. And now I have to change it, possibly, maybe. And so it's like, I'm so excited, but also, more work for me. No, but I'm super stoked on that, and I'm glad to hear it. One of the things that we had talked about too, this year we are fielding an MASL 2 team, and
Correct.
with that comes the possibility of some of those players. Hey, maybe they played the first soccer's team, and hey, somebody showed up and really performed well and said, "Hey, we need you over here, to fill in some spots, and you actually look pretty good." So those types of things are happening, and maybe some moves going on there too that we can't talk about just yet. But one of the biggest moves and one of the biggest accomplishments already of the night has to be this one, Craig. Really quick. Our own man, Steve Garcia from 3 Punk Ales is here. He said we'll have to make it happen. I think we might get a beer out of this. This might happen, you
Soccer's
guys.
overtime beer, 15% triple IPA. Let's go.
You guys are gonna have to go to 3 Punk Ales, drink a beer, and then tell them, "Hey, when's that Soccer's overtime beer coming?" And really get them to do it. So, okay, that's all I had to do.
Keep their feet to the fire. Jerry, we need to keep their feet to the fire. Here,
Yeah.
I'll drop another hint. There was a guy out there, and it just felt like one of our players was looking in the mirror. Just felt like he was looking in the mirror. It was wild. It was crazy. I could almost lose track. It's almost like there was one, and then there was two.
You know what's funny is a lot of people are not gonna understand and start thinking, "Oh my gosh, is Pulisic coming to the Soccers?" We don't want to do that to them, Craig. No, Pulisic is not coming to the Soccers.
No. I
Don't go
just
that
gave
way.
a great clue that included a great dad joke all
I
in
like it.
one.
I
So,
love it.
go back in your second or third listening, you'll probably figure it out. But all will be revealed. And yes, it's Lionel Messi. Yes. Us and PSG have really close working terms.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to build a relationship with Loyal, okay? Don't send me out to PSG yet.
What's the like separation of how they say like 2 degrees of separation or whatever with like Landon Donovan and PSG? Like we need to figure that out. And maybe there's a possibility where we can actually figure something out. No. I'm just
Right. The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon to get there, or 6 degrees of Alexi Lawless or something. I'm not sure how it works in soccer, but we're not going to get messy. But
no.
Soccer's, I feel, are in a good place. We've talked about it in previous episodes where it's good to have the stars be stars on this team. It's good to not be like, we've got 16 guys and our 16th guy would be a starting 5 player on every other team in the league. I mean, that sounds amazing, but what happens, as we've talked about, is that chemistry takes a blow. Guys don't adjust to that C role on a team where, hey, we need you to just bust your ass, run hard 90 seconds, defend, block a shot. You'll get a goal when it comes to you. You need people who embrace those types of roles. And I think the Soccers have the stars. I think they have the role players. And I think the additions that you will see that will be announced over the course of the week, again, I wish I could just be complete tea spiller here, but I'm trying to be a good front office executive.
We want to be, right?
Absolutely. A lot of people in the comments are catching on, are figuring out what's going on. I feel then that very important middle class for the team will be established as well, where you've got the stars, you've got the role players, and you've got that solid middle class, that second line that can come in and contribute 14 to 20 goals, can contribute out of the back line. Those are the types of players that we'll be talking about as the week goes on. I saw a question asking, is Pee Wee back? Yes, Luis Pee Wee Ortega is back with the San Diego Sockers. He never really left, but they've worked out a new deal. I believe Pee Wee will not be available for the Tacoma match, and they're hoping to have him back for December 19th. So he's back. He's out there. He wasn't in the scrimmage today, and I think that's pretty telling. But overall, really excited to have Jerry, a guy like Luis Pee Wee Ortega, back on the club, because we know when Pee Wee's right, he's one of the toughest defenders in the league at 5'4", one of the toughest guys, one of the most impossible guys to get the ball away from, one of the hardest guys to battle a double team in the corner, and he'll come up with 4 to 5 spectacular goals a year. When he's hot, he's actually a guy you could play on the power play. So Pee Wee, big continuation ad for the club.
One of the things with Pee Wee too is he's one of the players, actually the only player on the squad that I can look eye to eye and have a conversation with, which is amazing to have him back. Also, I did see him and I think Leo at a San Diego Loyo game, and I wanted to go up to him and be like, "Hey, are you coming back?" But I didn't know what that conversation would be like, so I didn't want to be disrespectful. So I'm very excited to have him back. He's one of those jerseys you have to have, so to have him back, now it's an excuse to buy myself a new jersey with that Pee Wee number 69 on the back. Just excited about that too. And he does have a laser, John. Fantastic laser. So yeah, there you go.
It is a nice jersey, Pee Wee's jersey. Very nice. Gabe asks, how about Guerrero Pino at training today? And absolutely drawing into the lineup. He's going to be the number one defender for the San Diego Sockers once again, along with Cesar Cerda. Just no question that those guys will be top players for the San Diego Sockers, necessary players. Pino led the club in playoff blocks last season with 14 in 7 games, had that huge block with like a minute to play in the mini game that took an equalizer off the line. One of the heroes of this club, absolutely no question. Guerrero Pino is going to be back. Now, as we said that, we mentioned, some injury issues for the Sockers going into this first game. And it's kind of a natural thing coming out of training camp. But the Sockers will be short a few players going into Saturday that you can probably count on being there for the majority of the season, if not as soon as a week from now. But I think it'll be both Pee Wee and Cesar Cerda. And it's tough to say that, Jerry, but going to be questionable for this game. Not guaranteed that they're going to be out yet, but both guys did not participate today and are less likely than not to play in the match on Saturday up in Tacoma. Definitely big losses for the Sockers, who will also be without Craig Giles, their captain, because when the original version of the league schedule came out, we were told that December 19th would be our opener. And there's a very important Cardiff Sockers tournament that he was not going to sign up for, that he committed the club to and committed money to. And then it turned out December 11th was our opener. So Giles won't be there. But you know who will be there, man? Tavoy Morgan will be there.
Tavoy Morgan.
And I'm telling you, Tavoy Morgan, this guy is headed for a star turn in San Diego. 26 years old. Just developing into the spot to be one of those dominant target forwards in the league that is the player you come to see. The player that's on the billboard, so to speak, the player that you like, oh, I want to see Tavoy. I want to see the Sockers scoring, dancing, lighting things up with his smile. One of the most gregarious personalities for sure on the team. I was talking to him today about some of the TikTok stuff we're planning. He was just like, oh, let me go. I want to do it. Let's go. He's so excited. He just absolutely wants to be a part of everything. So, a couple guys are going to be out on that Saturday. Who knows who's going to be out for Tacoma? I mean, the first game is always a bit of a scuffle. So I'm excited that some new faces are there, and hey, they're probably going to be needed game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bummer that we're not going to have Craig in, dressed up that day. But he said, "Hey, boss, I need some, I have some other duties and things that happen." And when that schedule first came out, I know we had a lot of conversations too about just how it was going to work out. I know that there had been some changes that had to happen. So it's, it is what it is. We do what we can. I don't think that we're short of stars and people to fill in that spot. So I'm not worried at all. And we'll see, like you said, what Tacoma can bring that day. It's they have also had. Oh, maybe I should hold off. We're gonna do a little bit of a preview on this game coming up. So there maybe have some people missing too. They do have some changes in their squad. It's for the most part, it's gonna be the same, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll get there. We'll get there a little bit closer toward the end. But we just went through some of the injury concerns. Child's out. Those things are coming. Even more announcements are coming. This is just a really exciting week and a really exciting time to be part of the franchise. I keep telling that joke that somewhere around 3 to 4 weeks out from the first game, you go from feeling like you're just walking on stable ground to feeling like the world is starting to slowly tip down, 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 down. So, everything's kind of falling your direction. And you go, you're just trying to scramble to hang on. And that's where we are right now. But a lot of exciting things coming out. Sponsorship side, some really exciting things coming out. And as we mentioned, coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be joined by Kris McCarthy from FanSaves and tell you what's happening about that. I want to reemphasize something too, Jerry, that I just saw in the chat. Because listen, we need to repeat it, and we need to repeat it and repeat it again. The Soccers and the MASL are on YouTube this year for free. MASL TV on YouTube, no paywall this year. The league did have a paywall. They went to Facebook last year. They did it pay-per-view. They did that because they couldn't have fans. Ticket revenue is the number one revenue for the MASL, and without ticket revenue, almost impossible. So they thought, well, our fans can help support the league. And a lot of fans absolutely did. And we thank them for that support. But listen, no one wants that to be the business model going forward, at least nobody on this podcast. So free MASL TV, go to YouTube, search MASL TV, just like you see Gabe saying in the comments, subscribe to it. When you do, you get a notice on your phone. Hey, there's a game on today. And you'll find, oh, hey, Utica's playing right now. And I didn't know. Against Florida. Let me jump in there. Let me watch some of that. And of course, every Soccers game, home and road, with us controlling the home broadcasts with TVX Video, with myself, Nate Abrea, Melissa May, all of us back, starting on the 19th. And for road games, hey, all I'm saying, look, we've got this platform now. Stay tuned. We're working on stuff. Stay tuned.
Excited about that. No, it's a good news for MASL fans and people that want to get into MASL, make it easy for them to access it. So I'm excited for that.
For sure. And by the way, I just saw
people on
so
here.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's a lot of people on here that may not have ever gone to a Soccers match, and now they get that access, So that's a huge thing that MASL is trying to do. We need to reach a wider audience and show people how amazing this is. So yeah, excited about that, and happy to see that we are back on YouTube for free, as Puma said. Puma, free.
If it's free, I'll watch 3. And that's what we'd like you to do. Most weekends. And Puma, you asked, is there an article I can read up on about this? I just want to say this, the league kind of soft opened on MASL TV. The reason they did that, there were business reasons behind the scenes why they did that. I was like literally begging the league for a month, like announce, tell people where to watch. But they were trying to set up a different promotional, and that's another thing. People ask us all the time, Jerry, well, when is the league going to get to the spot where now a media company takes a chance on them, where a media company maybe makes an investment in the league? Well, those things take time. Those things take time. Those business relationships take time to develop. And those things are continuing to develop at the league level. But what I'm really excited about is that, first of all, we're on YouTube and we're free. And that's the place you want to be. So even if something else does come along down the season, well, we've already started on YouTube. So we're going to finish on YouTube. So, it's yes and instead of either or if something else comes along down the line. And I'm just psyched about that.
Absolutely. Super excited. I mean, I don't think there's anything else for me to add. So yes, I'm excited.
All right. A couple other quick things, and we'll get to our first live interview. Want to drop a little kit knowledge on the
Yeah,
fans
why
here,
not?
Jerry?
Let's do it.
Let's do
All
that
right.
thing. Let's do that thing. So the Soccer still have all new kits for 2021-22, partnering with Flight, the new apparel company right here out of Carlsbad, California, with our Brian Farber, intimately involved in all of the design and the planning and the execution. And we will have 3 new kits for 2021-2022, in addition to, of course, our goalkeeper kits. So, Jerry, if you're for everyone who's watching here on Twitch, the background that you created for us, well, that's a wee bit of a hint, isn't it?
It is. That's the home kit. Should we just show it? Just
Show it. Just throw it up there.
Here
Hey,
we go.
deep
21.
apologies to everybody listening on the podcast. Make sure you tune into the video next time.
Yeah.
Tuesdays at 5, twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers. Throw up the video. So throw up the graphic. What do we got? There they are. Your 2021-2022 San Diego Soccers kids. So, hey, listen, longtime radio vet, we can handle this. The normal home kit, the standard home kit, is approaching royal blue with long sleeves, navy blue diagonal stripes going from left shoulder down to right waist, and that's as you're looking at it. So if you were wearing it, right shoulder down to left waist. And of course, the Soccers crest over the left breast and over the heart, where it absolutely belongs. Kaiser Permanente on the front, Olympus Movement Performance and LA Fitness on the sleeve, the MASL logo and the Soccers 15-time championship logo on the left sleeve. And there will be someone on the back of the jersey as well. We'll have more on that in a couple of days.
Should we show them what they look like on actual players?
Please do. Please do.
Hey, look at that.
Hey. There's Felipe Gonzalez in the home kit, Leonardo de Oliveira in the retro, and Craig Childs in the white, with Boris Pardo in his pink zebra stripe goalkeeper jersey. So we talk about the retro, and these will be worn for the first time, Jerry, on January 2nd for Retro Night, when the Soccers take on the Ontario Fury, their second home game. But it's the classic from the beginning, from 1980 to 1984. The San Diego Soccers yellow jersey with the blue Soccers diagonal script going down from right chest down to left waist, with the blue collar, with the blue shoulder piping, and with the San Diego name and number on the front. So it says San Diego over the left breast with the number of the player right below that. What Julie V wore at the start, and go down the list of all the great Soccers at the history of the beginning of the history of Lawrence Hilkes and Gene Wilrich and Gene Wojciechowski and all of these amazing players. That's the retro jersey. That will generally be our road jersey for many games, but we will wear it twice at home on Retro Night and on Alumni Night. And then our third kit, which I think is just super, super clean, is the white with the diagonal blue and gold stripe coming down again from right shoulder down to left hip, and with the Soccers crest right there in the middle. That's an homage, Jerry, to the club, of course, our youth club, our youth partnership club, our academy, Cardiff Soccers. And when Cardiff Soccers comes out, the Soccers will be wearing that in addition to select road matches. So those are the 3, the blue, the retro, and the white. I see some questions in terms of the comments, in terms of when can we get these bad boys? Absolutely. Yeah. Right? Absolutely.
Good
and
questions.
Great question. So the blue will be on sale starting with our home opener on December 19th and should be available for online sale at the same time. So stand by for that. Look for it on the Soccers online store. Look for it at the Soccers merchandise booth by the north entrance of Pechanga Arena, San Diego on December 19th. We start selling the retro jersey on January 2nd, exclusively in arena. So you'll want to come to the game to get those kits. We will have a select number of those kits, by the way, named and numbered out to the legends. So you could get a Julie V or a Kaz Dana Soccers retro kit that night. head to the merch stand
Oh,
and afterwards, right? I mean, come
that's
on.
awesome. That's
You
awesome.
gotta
Make
have it.
sure that you join us, for December 19th and throughout the entire season. Tickets are available. There you go. If you want some information on that, we have a ticker going. Get your tickets now. sdsoccers.com/tickets by calling 866-799-4625. Or even better, we have another way to get tickets, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and do the segue
Yes.
here
Well,
because we
yes,
have a
please
guest.
do. We do.
We have
Let's
a
welcome.
guest coming in.
Hey, look, proof of concept. Look, we could do this. We could do a live show and we can mix in a live guest as well here on Soccer's Overtime. We are
For
very
sure.
happy to bring on because, right, part of being a soccer season ticket member, part of being a Soccer's fan is taking part in our corporate partnerships and having a chance to pass the savings right along to you. And let's bring in right now to our Soccer's Overtime live broadcast here on twitch.tv. Let's bring on the co-founder of FanSaves, an app that you can download today and start saving right away. Kris McCarthy is standing by in our waiting room. And there's Kris.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody? Coming live from Canada here. It's such a pleasure to be with you guys on Soccer's Overtime. Thanks for having me.
It's
Wow.
amazing to have you here.
You're in Canada?
All the way up in Canada. Yeah, we're just
Canada,
between. What's that?
I said Canada?
Yeah, Canada. Eh? You've never been up to Canada? No, but we're honestly a huge soccer hungry nation. I don't know if anybody just saw. We're in the World Qualifiers, and we played in below temperatures against Mexico and BC, and there was inches of snow on the ground. So huge soccer nation up here in Canada to the north, and we're big fans of the Soccers.
Well, it's very important for us to note right off the top, Kris, that you are Soccers fans, and even though you're from Canada, you definitely hate Ontario, right? And by Ontario, we mean the Ontario Fury.
Yes, absolutely. I can get on board with that for sure. My co-founder Shannon and I, we've been to San Diego a couple times over the last couple of years, and we just fell in love with the city, and it's such a cool place to be. But yeah, nothing without that rain. Yeah.
You know what's funny is Ontario is in a part of California. It's LA. It's considered LA, and a lot of people were like, Ontario, Canada? No, this is in California. This is our rivals. So I'm glad to hear that you're on our side, sir. Welcome in, man. One of the things that we're very excited about, obviously, with our partnerships is being able to give some good deals to our supporters, and what you guys are doing I think is amazing. I'm gonna let Craig go ahead and take over this one for a little bit. I'll join you guys in just a bit. It's a pleasure meeting you, Kris. I'll be right back, okay? But you guys take it away.
You got it. Absolutely, Jerry. And Kris, let's just start off with brick and mortar. What is FanSaves? How did you guys come together? What are you guys doing?
So the easiest way to think about it is like a digital coupon book for the sponsors of the San Diego Soccers. So we like to think of it as like Instagram meets Groupon, but for sports teams. So it all started back in 2017. My co-founder and I, we were selling sponsorship, and businesses had no way of knowing how effective their sponsorship was and who was coming back in their doors. So we wanted a way to engage our fans with our sponsors. And so we set out to create FanSaves. And 4 years later, we're working with over 50 organizations across North America and have over 600 brands offering deals to fans and communities all over. So, the sponsors of the San Diego Soccers, I was just looking before the call, have some really, really hot deals up there right now that fans can access for free. They can go to our website or they can download the app, fansaves.com, and follow the Soccers and get access to really great deals from their partners.
So, as you said, you download the FanSaves app, no charge to that, completely free. You could go to the browser if if you're on a laptop, fansaves.com. But I think the important thing you just said there is that very much like any social media, like right here on Twitch or following us on Instagram, wherever, you need to hit that follow button, right?
Absolutely. You follow the team and then you'll get access to discounts and deals. I got to pull it up here. I got to tell you some of these deals. I was looking before. I got a deal from Dick's, which is really cool. Front Wave Credit Union, a free bucket of balls over at Mount Woodson's golf course. That's an awesome deal. 10% off your stay, free transportation to the Soccers Arena by Dana on Mission Bay. And, even hot deals on merchandise and prep peas, meal prep. So, you know what, like these sponsors are spending their money to support the Soccers, and without sponsors and without the fans, there is no team. So it's a great way to support the businesses that are supporting your favorite squad.
And that's, I think, really the important message to pass along, right? Everyone who's listening to Soccer's Overtime, everyone who's watching us on Twitch, you're the core supporters of the San Diego Soccers. You're the folks who are like invested, mind, heart, body, soul, that the Soccers continue and thrive and excel. And when we have corporate partners who have created a relationship with us, they want you to take advantage of these deals. They want you to save that money, because in doing so, they see, okay, the Soccers bring clientele to our company. So it's the ultimate definition, isn't it, Kris, of win-win. The Soccers win if you save, you win by saving, and the companies win because they get your business.
It really is like a hat trick, a trifecta of wins, and you're absolutely right. So it's we would love for you to check it out and support those businesses. They work really hard. We just went through a crazy couple years. The world just got turned upside down, and these businesses are investing their marketing dollars to support your favorite team. So it's great to get out there and support them back.
Now, I know, because we've had some business behind the scenes, type conversations, that there's a lot of different opportunities too. Like the Soccers could maybe like spring a sale on people who are at a game, for example, if they had their FanSaves app, right?
Yeah, definitely. You're going to want to keep an eye on it throughout the season. And even in the off season, you can still actually take advantage of these deals year round from their partners and be able to support them. But yeah, trigger deals, things that happen in game. The Soccers will be pushing deals throughout the year, and you'll be able to get even better savings on the brands that are supporting your favorite team.
So, you said you're a hockey guy. You brought up I said three things. You immediately went to hat trick. So much appreciated. We have hat tricks in our sport too, 100%. But how excited are you to see this wild, wacky game? Same field as hockey, but take away the ice, put some turf on, and increase the puck and make it spherical. It's a lot different, but in some ways, Kris, it's kind of the same.
It's incredible how skilled the players are, and like how fast they have to think to make the next pass before someone's on them, or they run out of room playing in such a small box, right? So I love it. I love like the intimate, like like the way like they have to think so fast and just make quick decisions. And they boot the ball so hard. It's incredible to see some of these goals. I was watching some of the highlights yesterday. I was like, I do not want to play goalie. Like, I don't want to be anywhere near that net. Like, I blocked shots in hockey when I played like minor professionally. Guys were always like, "You're crazy, man." But some of those guys kick the ball pretty hard too.
Well, Kris, listen, it is such a pleasure to have you on. We are excited to partner with FanSaves, coming up for the season opener and throughout the 2021-22 season and moving forward. I think your platform has a great idea. I think it's where it's at, and we're really excited to see where this partnership is going to grow and how it's going to develop.
Us as well. You've got a whole bunch of big fans up here in Canada, and we're supporting you from the north. And we're looking forward to getting down to a game and watching the Soccers kick butt. And I love what you guys were saying earlier about the new kits. They look absolutely like unreal, and only the best for the champs, right?
That's exactly it, man. We get it going. We get it going this Saturday. We get it going at home next Sunday, and fans can save through the FanSaves app. Kris McCarthy, co-founder of FanSaves. Thanks so much for some time here on Soccer's Overtime. You're our first live guest. You're the answer to a trivia question, man.
Amazing. What an honor. Thank you guys so much.
I have one question for Kris, actually, because we're talking about him being in Canada. We're complaining in San Diego, Kris, because it was 55 today. It was like the high.
It was really cold. Yeah,
it was like overcast. We're complaining.
Even rained a little bit.
It rained.
You poor guy.
Can't have that.
How bad is it in not bad? What's the temperature like in Canada, Kris?
Well, it's like -9 degrees Celsius. I'm not going to hit you with the quick calculation math on that. But it's cold, like legit. Like I went out to get groceries earlier today, my wife and I, and so it had rained and then snowed. So the snow is on top of the ice now that is like frozen. And I did like a huge like matrix move and happened to like stay on my feet. But it's crazy up here. Like we have a river that runs through our backyard. How Canadian. And like we skate on it, and it's already got ice on it. So yeah, you guys are lucky down in San Diego. I miss that weather for sure.
Kris, you're welcome in San Diego anytime, sir.
Please come on down.
We complain about 55-degree weather. I'm just saying. Right, Greg?
Can you guys like adopt me? Can I be like a player, like a bench player for the season or something, and just come down and hang out in San Diego?
I need
We
some
might
help.
need a checking line. I mean, there's some room for a checking line.
I'm in. Count me in, coach.
All right. Well, Kris, I'm going to be thinking of you when I tee off on golf on Thursday morning. So,
And I hope you get a free bucket of balls if you're going to Mount Woodson Golf Course, and hit up all those other deals on FanSaves.
Right on. Kris McCarthy, thanks again, brother. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. Dude, that was
a lot of fun.
awesome.
That was a lot of fun. Hey,
Um,
Canada's a great place, man. Who knows?
Listen,
We'll move there soon.
we complain about the little things around here. It's like, just gotta enjoy the fact that we're in San Diego, California, just a champion city. All right. I mean,
I looked it up, by the way. -9 Celsius is 15.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, golly.
No thanks.
You kidding me? No. No.
All right.
Thanks, Two Balls. Hey, shout out to Two
Hey,
Balls. If you guys haven't checked
absolutely.
that out, go and listen to Mr. Craig Elston on Two Balls and a Mic. He just did a whole. By the way, I enjoyed that episode thoroughly, sir. That was a fantastic episode. Hilarious.
I wish
They
I
talk
had
about-
borrowed Gennaro's mic for it. Sorry for the bad mic.
Listen to honestly when they're talking about how it hurts hurting coming off the walls and hitting the walls in indoor, that just dude, worth the listen. Go and check it out. Tony and Chiva over there, love you guys. Yeah.
I love him too. I was so happy to be back on the podcast again. Anytime, boys. All right, let's
Have me whenever you want. By the way, I'm free. Thanks for inviting me. Just saying.
They'll get to you. Yeah, there's an order.
Whatever.
There's an order, and here's me, and then you're coming up. Let's talk a little bit about what happened over the MASL this weekend. And I put at the top of this discussion pod, so to speak, or segment, the ball, because as we teased earlier, we had a chance to really firsthand see the new ball. Look, the design of it, take it for what it is. The league decided to pick that design, and that's the design. So I'm not a big fan of the visual, but c'est la vie. They chose what they chose.
I can't show you. Right?
Yeah,
you can't show it,
I mean, yeah, go if you've got it, you can show them. Absolutely,
I can, but I don't know if I want to. Well, maybe. Well, we'll just keep talking about it. Maybe
it's a bunch of purple little MASL logos, just here, there, and everywhere.
It looks like a 1980s cup.
It does.
If you guys know what that looks like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, one of those. What was they? Dixie cups, I think.
Dixie cups. Yep.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a Dixie cup, especially when it's moving, because then all those little words just swirl, and it just looks like a swirl.
Don't love it. Don't love it.
No, I don't like the design. They chose it, whatever. I don't like the design. But that's not what we're here to talk about. The design is whatever, right? That doesn't affect the game. What affects the game is how the ball plays. And the new ball is a percentage, Jerry, heavier than previous MASL balls, including last year's model. And I talked to Craig Childs about this, including today at training. Tried to talk to Brian Farber, who, of course, was integral in the design of the ball as he was for the previous ball, because it is a flight ball. But there's kind of a give and a take, Jerry, with this new ball. It's slightly heavier, and because it's slightly heavier, that means it's going to be an easier ball to control. And a player that has really great touch is going to be able to have the ball on a string on his feet even more so than they did before. I'll give you an example. Leonardo de Oliveira is going to love this new ball because he is going to be able to dance that double team and keep that ball on a string in between four other feet better than he was before, because there's less bounce to it. There's just a little bit less bounce to the ball. The flip of that, and I've heard the King Frank Taillou discuss this and other players, is that the ball is harder. Farber says not impossible, but harder to bend. And that makes sense, right? Because it's not as light of a ball. It's not going to have as much just natural movement, like wiffle ball-y type movement where you hit it and it just kind of knuckles or it moves on its own. So it's going to take being struck right for the ball to bend and to curve and to dip. So it's an adjustment factor. Everyone has to use the same ball. Shouldn't be an advantage to one or a disadvantage to others. But I do think just for the straight outside bombers, it's a little less advantageous because you're going to have less swerve. But for guys with control and with touch, which is what you want, more of a futsal style ball, and that is the direction, right? League has the futsal rule from goalkeepers now. They've got a heavier ball, which is more of a futsal direction, and that should encourage better passes, cleaner touches, and for skill to once again rise to the top.
Yeah, I had a couple of conversations with some of the players too during our photo day, and that was very much something that was discussed. That was something that they had been talking about. The ball is different, and it's going to change the game. That was the biggest thing that I kept hearing from the players was it's going to change the game, and it's because you have to now relearn the way that you're going to control that ball. You have to basically prepare your brain to say, hey, this ball is heavier. You have to hit it a certain way. You have to do things differently because of this difference, right? And the bounce is a big part of it. Mr. Sean Bowers talks about it as well. Might be something that we can talk about or maybe jump into. I'm not sure what your interview was like, but I can play it, by the way, just letting you know.
Hey, that was a perfect, you could have sent a text, but that worked. That was good. You told me.
No, I'm just learning, So yeah, and thank you to everybody that's still here with us. The numbers have dropped actually just a little bit. There's still quite a lot of people watching us. So no, I appreciate everybody here, and just want to say that that's one of the conversations that's being had right now throughout the league. I think is let's throw this into our practices. We have to play with them. We have to start getting used to them because this is going to be a change. As everything else in MASL, this season is going to be very different. And it throws in a certain amount of je ne sais quoi, to speak in French. Oh, by the way, je parle français.
I'll translate for everyone. That means I don't know what.
Yeah. I took a couple of years in French in high school, and I think that I speak French. So it's gonna change things. It's very different from last season. So it's gonna throw in a aspect that we are not aware, that we're not familiar with coming into the season. Can it change the game? We'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
So did you choose not to take the auto way of taking Spanish, or did you actually want to learn French? I have to ask the question.
No, I wanted to learn French a little bit, and then also I did take a Spanish for Spanish speakers class, and I got a B. Like, how do you get a B when you speak perfect Spanish?
Apparently, it wasn't perfect enough.
Well, no, it was Spain Spanish. You had to have a dialecto, and it was like, I couldn't
Barcelona.
Yes.
De Barcelona.
But that's Argentinian. But still, it's the same thing as Spanish. But it's annoying. Escúchame, yo hablo perfecto español. No sé por qué no sé por qué me dieron una B. I don't know why I got a B, but whatever. It is what it is.
Couple other quick MASL topics. As Jerry said, we've got a great interview, 5-minute interview with Sean Bowers that we'll present to you live here on the Soccer's Overtime Twitch channel and on the podcast momentarily. But let's talk about the results real quick from the weekend, because it really, they were very interesting and very important. Florida, the Florida Tropics, the Eastern Conference champs of 2019-2020, the number one seed for 2021, although the Sockers, beat them in the playoffs. But the team that's had the coach of the year, the player of the year, all of this, they come out, Jerry, and they do the East Coast two-step. They do the trip that we were so scared of when we did the schedule release podcast, a Friday night in Baltimore, or a Saturday night in Baltimore, and a Sunday afternoon or midday in Utica, New York, at Sekou Arena on Towson University campus on the basketball floor. The Baltimore Blast lose to Florida. Good game, 6-4. The Tropics took a 5-2 lead. Blast cut it to 5-4, make it a game, score against the sixth attacker. Florida wins it by a 6-4 count. Really good game, really entertaining game, good game for the fans, even on that postage stamp of a field that I despise because it's a third smaller than the rest of the fields in the league. And that's just crazy, but all good, Ed. No problem, Ed. You're on the tiny field. We're fine. But to go to Utica the next day, and Jerry, Utica has not just the lying in wait advantage that you've heard me talk about for seasons now, but like the ultimate lying in wait advantage, because Florida finished around 9 o'clock in Baltimore, had to clean up, pack up, eat dinner, get into vans. They didn't get to Utica until the middle of the night. They had like 2 or 3 hours sleep and were off to the arena, and they dominated UCFC 7-1 the final. The seventh goal was goalkeeper Hugo Silva throwing the ball in across the floor against six attackers. Zach Reggett had 4 goals for Florida over the course of the 2 games, and the Tropics are out 2-0. I think they're the team to beat again, man.
If you didn't watch that, by the way, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen that last goal from Florida against Utica, go back and watch it. I had to rewatch it like 5 times because I could not believe that happened. That happens a few times in MASL, I guess. It's not like a super rare thing, but go and watch it. It's so crazy to see how good Florida is doing. They are absolutely destroying teams and just running circles around whoever they're facing. So will that change? Who knows? As we know, in the beginning of the season, everything's, very different from what it may end up being at the end of the season. Right now, Florida is just completely destroying teams, really owning it against Baltimore, and then against Utica. Baltimore was one of those teams too that I was thinking was going to do okay. I don't know. Maybe I had high hopes, but Florida just coming strong, making a statement right off the bat. Something to watch. Go and check that out if you haven't. By the way, YouTube, easy. Go back.
MASL TV. Yeah. I love YouTube so much. The second the game is over, it's available for archive. It's not like Facebook where you had to go like hire a Sherpa and go on a search party to try and find the game replay. It's right there, and you can watch it like the second the game's over. I love it so much. Not a ton to talk about from the other game. Dallas made their debut. Pablo da Silva, first-year head coach for the Sidekicks. It was cool to see them play a different style than the style that they'd played under Simon Bozas the last few years. But St. Louis won that one 8-4, controlled it pretty solidly from start to finish, and needed bounce back for the Ambush, who are 1-2 now. They had dropped 2 to Kansas City, so St. Louis gets their first win. Dallas grabs their first loss. That's what happened around the MASL last weekend. Let's now bring in an interview I had a chance to do at Scrimmage today at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, Jerry, with the general manager of the San Diego Sockers, the head man in charge, Sean Bowers, of course. Sean Bowers, by the way, a semifinalist on the national ballot for the Soccer Hall of Fame this year.
Hey!
Got to say it while we got the chance,
Wow. Let's go.
One of the great indoor players of his day, one of the top defenders of his day, the Tower of Power, Sean Bowers. But he's now a championship general manager, and I had the chance a little bit earlier this afternoon to talk to him about what's coming up for the season opener, for the roster, for the home opener, and more. General Manager Sean Bowers is joining us. We're here in Pechanga Arena, San Diego, getting ready for the Sockers season opener in Tacoma on December 11th. Home opener, of course, December 19th against Chihuahua. And Sean, coming off such a bizarre road season, a lot of players that came from other clubs on loan. What were some of the challenges in terms of putting together the 2021-22 roster?
Well, we had a lot of players that left our championship roster, right? So, Lete left, Vanzello left, so trying to even find someone that can fill those spots was pretty difficult, to be honest with you. Bringing Charlie in helps us a lot, obviously, in the midfield. And I think shoring up Tavoy coming back, we felt like we lost him, and then doing the trade back for that. So those are two big pieces of the puzzle that, we felt like we needed to do, losing the players that we lost. And obviously, bringing some players back that we weren't sure what was going to happen. Pino's coming back, who sures up one of the best defenders in the league. Boris as our goalkeeper, the MVP Leo coming back, so we have a great core of guys, adding those 2 or 3 pieces, and making sure the guys that made a big difference last year are coming back also.
Tacoma, a very familiar opponent in game number 1, and it just seems like every time these two teams meet, it's usually 1 goal, it's usually overtime. Obviously, they have revenge on their minds. What do you expect from Tacoma coming up on Saturday?
Well, we're defending champions, right? So defending champions, everybody's going to come after us. We have a big target on our chest, so we're going to get a very best of every single team. Obviously, Nick Pereira up top, Danny in goal. So they're always, like you said, every time we have a game against them, it's a 1-goal game or a 2-goal game, and it swings, and it's till the very, very end. So it's going to be high-paced. I think everybody's going to be excited for the first quarter, and then it's going to slow down a little bit. We've been looking great in the preseason. Guys are fit. So, I'm looking for us to be high-paced and then slow it down, control the tempo of the game. But it's going to be a great game. All the games I've seen so far have been great games.
Over your shoulder right now is SD Soccers 2. The Soccers are at halftime of a scrimmage against their development team, which took a season off and now is back in MASL 2. What's that going to mean for the franchise overall during the course of the season?
Well, the number one thing for us, bringing it back, is about developing players so that they can play on the first team. So identifying the young players, bringing them in, having them learn our system. And some players will be ready earlier than other players. But it's really recognizing 15 to 20 players that could potentially be part of our first team down the road, whether it's this year, 2 years, or 3 years down the road. So, this is something that I think when we won it 2 or 3 years ago, and then we lost it for a year and now bringing it back, this is one of the most important things that we've done other than winning the championship last year. So, we're looking to find that, the diamond in the rough. We're looking for that 2 or 3 players that can come from here and make a difference, possibly in 1 or 2 games or even half the season this year with the first team.
Of course, the next time we're back here, it'll be for the home opener on December 19th against Chihuahua Savage. From a ceremony, excitement, entertainment, and also protocol standpoint, what should fans expect when they come to Pechanga Arena?
Well, first of all, protocol-wise with COVID, obviously getting in here, you're going to have to, show your COVID, that you got the vaccination card with an ID. I think that's the new rule now. And if you're unvaccinated, we'll have testing on site, which I think is great. So you don't have to go get a test and then bring it back. It'll actually be testing on site if for some reason you don't have it. But it's going to be an exciting night. It's going to be just like usual in terms of, high five lines and, celebrating, and everybody's getting a ring. Some of these players, this is their first ring, and so they're excited. I know the staff is excited for it. I mean, we've been waiting for this day, revealing the 15th banner that we have. So this has been the elusive 15 championship that we've been waiting for, and trying to earn for the last 4 or 5 years, and we finally did it. So we're very, very excited, and come down and join us. Buy tickets, bring your family, bring your team. I'm getting goosebumps just even thinking about it. So I'm really excited about it.
And last thing before I let you go, maybe just a look at the league overall. We're back to 12 teams now. Stalwarts such as Baltimore and Milwaukee are back in the fold. The team that'll be here, Chihuahua, a new team, but it seems to be an amalgam of some of the best players in Mexico. What do you think the competition level is going to be like to try and retain that ground?
It's going to be very hard. It was hard even last year when we had 7 teams and, a lot of teams were borrowing players, all the best players from all the other teams that weren't playing. But still, even though that we went up 5 more teams to 12, there's some very, very good talent. As you've seen, Florida has been doing very, very well, just won 2 away games. Baltimore is always Milwaukee. So there's really not those 1 or 2 teams that that when you play them, chances are that you're going to beat them. Every single game is going to be tough. Even our home opener against Chihuahua, I've heard nothing but great things about them in terms of their talent and how fast they are and how skillful they are. So I think for us, it's a challenge. It's something that we want to play the best teams all the time, and we want the other team's very best every single time, because that's how you win championships. If you go through every team that's the very best and win championships, you deserve to be the champion, which we did last year.
General Manager Sean Bowers, best of luck this coming Saturday.
Thank you.
And we'd like to thank Sean for also getting the memo. We're all wearing our flag hoodie at the same time.
Dude,
come on now.
We didn't even have to plan that. That's crazy.
Right? Still going to walk the dog in a minute, but so I wanted to wear the hoodie, but still,
Also, it's very
incredible stuff.
cold in my garage, by the way. So yeah, I had to wear a hoodie.
Well, I thought a lot of very interesting stuff there and good information. And in particular, I think the thing I'd pull out, Jerry, is how important Soccer's 2 is going to be to this season.
Yes. Very, very important. Well, I was mentioning earlier, right? I thought, hey, if they show up and they say, hey, this is a player that actually can probably move up to the first team, and they might make those moves. So it's an exciting time for the team as a whole. I'm excited to see that and see what other moves happen for sure.
That's tremendous. Thanks to Sean Bowers for the time. We're going to be bringing you those types of interviews throughout the course of the season, which fans here on Twitch got to see in perfect HD video. And of course, everyone listening on the podcast, you got to hear perfect HD audio. So it all worked out. Incredible. All right. We're almost done here, gang. We thank everybody for their forbearance and their patience being with us on now minute 80 of the show. But let's talk a little bit about Saturday's game and about what's going to be happening at the Dana Mission Bay on Mission Bay prior to the game. So Soccer Stars, 7 p.m. The game on MASL TV, free on YouTube. And hey, the Stars are the Stars, man. I mean, for the most part, these are going to be the players that you are used to seeing with the Tacoma Stars. Danny Waltman in goal, Nick Pereira as the primary forward, Michael Ramos as the primary attacking midfielder. Vinny Dantas is back for his second season, from the Baltimore Blast. So he's the other target. So they've got kind of twin tower target forwards. You're always going to have a great target on the floor with the Tacoma Stars. But there are some players who have left Tacoma, Jerry, after the 2021 season. I think the first and the biggest is Chris Toth going back to Ontario. Former soccer, one of the best goalkeepers in the whole league. Now he's back with the Fury, splitting time with Clayson De Lima. But that puts on Danny Waltman, who, like me, is on the other side of 40. He's full-time now, along with Mike Arguello in goal. And, instead of that 50-50 split with Toth, I think that's a big change.
It's a huge change. Yeah, that's going to make a big difference. Obviously you're used to having your regular Tacoma Stars. I don't think that we've saw enough of Toth. And then him making that change over to Ontario is I don't know. I think that, I don't know. Do you think it's going to be really that big of a change? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, as I'm going through in my brain, I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be a huge change for Tacoma Stars. I mean, that's what we need to worry about, right? Is who we're facing next.
Correct.
I don't think so.
I think for one game, it doesn't matter at all. For 24 games, it matters.
Yes.
Because Danny, if Danny plays every game, Danny will wear down. Just like, and look, I'll say the same thing for San Diego. If Boris Pardo plays every game, Boris Pardo will wear down. It's the nature of being a keeper, the toughest position in sports, almost an indoor soccer keeper, and being older, being plus 35 in Boris's case, or plus 40 in Danny Waltman's case. It's not a diss. It's not a knock. It's just life. It's the facts of life. And pro teams have to take that into their evaluation. When they commit to a player, is how much of that player are we going to get over the course of the year? Like, for example, in the NBA, a Lakers fan understands this, right? Like, oh, we've got LeBron. Well, yeah, for maybe half the time, maybe 2/3 of the time we have LeBron. The other times we don't have LeBron. And that's the cost of having LeBron, is that he's going to be out, for a certain number of games. Same thing is for any older player. So, Chris Toth is gone. Willie Spur, who was a nice little silky midfielder, he's gone to Ontario too. Of course, the players that came to the Stars on loan last year went back to their original teams. So Adriano Dos Santos was back in Baltimore. Elton de Oliveira, one of the league's best shot blocking defenders, back in Harrisburg. And Pablo de Silva, who had been a big part of the overall veteran leadership of Tacoma, one of those guys who's not a full-time player, but is one of the kind of coaches on the field. He's now a coach on the bench because he's the head coach of the Dallas Sidekicks. So those are the players who have left Tacoma, and they haven't really added anybody so far like us, maybe they'll have a giant press release on Thursday. but so far,
the Stars.
right? Yeah, here's a new team and welcome. Not impossible. It could happen. It's beyond routine in this league. So
MASO is gonna MASO.
Correct, just like MLS gonna MLS. I thank you. I'm like Captain America. I understood that reference.
Yeah.
But that's the Tacoma situation. If you missed it earlier in the show, the Sockers are going to be somewhat shorthanded in terms of probably having Pee Wee out, probably having Serta out. Pollo is definitely going to miss the start of the season, and fingers crossed, not too long, but that's in the hands of higher powers. Governmentally, it's a visa situation, very simple. If visas were candy, the Sockers would be the league favorite for sure. Yeah, but that's not the case. So he's training, he's working with the team, but he can't be a part of the team until that works out. So working on that. Those, Childs, again, not going to be at the opener, not an injury issue, a coaching commitment issue. So he'll be there for the season opener. It means leaning on Tavoy. It means leaning on Charlie Gonzalez, hey, first game, score some goals, Charlie, get some assists. But also, Jerry, it means leaning on guys like Leo and Brandon Escoto. And those are two good guys to really lean on.
I don't think we have any problems leaning on those two guys. Brandon's ready to go. Leo's ready to go. I saw Charlie. He looks solid. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to have any problems there. I'm excited to see what these guys can do and bring to a slightly revamped 15-time champion San Diego Sockers.
Then real quick, let's just talk about what's happening at the Dana, Jerry. Watch party, 7:00 at the Dana at Mission Bay. We're going to be outside for this one, gang. If you were at the season ticket members party, I was like, we're going to be right here in the ballroom on Saturday. Well, someone else is in the ballroom, a wedding or something. I don't know. But
we're going to crash their party. We're going to crash the party after we win against Tacoma Stars. That's what we're going to do.
So 7:00, we will be there. Big blow up, big screen by the pool. Just wear something like this. It's not going to be that cold. According to the weather, it should be low 60s. Wear a jacket. Wear something. Come together. But Jerry, I'd like to cede the floor to you for a moment. Come a little earlier at 5:30 if you want to be part of something really special.
Yeah, come in 5:30 p.m. We're going to be there to have a supporter summit. We're going to be talking about Section 19. We're going to be talking about what it's going to take to build up a culture and a community around the Sockers. We would love to have you there. If you can't make it, that's okay. We're going to have plenty more of these coming up, but we're going to bring the noise. We're going to bring some drums, some flags, hopefully, to the arena. But we need you to be there first and foremost this weekend on the 11th, 5:30 p.m. We're going to be there to talk about how this is going to work, how we can make this work for everybody, and to start building something really, really cool. So please be there beforehand. There's going to be a lot of really good conversation happening during that time before we play Tacoma Stars. So join us make it a night. Come and join us. Come and have a couple drinks with us and hang out, and let's make this a party. There's a lot that I don't want to promise, but we're going to be talking about a lot of subjects that are probably going to be very important to those that follow the soccer. So come and hang out with us, and let's have a good time, because the arena is going to be bumping, and it's not going to happen without you. So that's all I can say about that, sir. What do you say?
I say I'm happy to have you here, mate, and I can't wait for this thing to come together. I'm so excited. I feel like this is going to be big, and
can I ask?
I'll be there too. What's that?
Oh, you're going to be there. I'm hoping Sean is there as well. You saw his interview. I'm trying to reel him in. He might be there a little bit later during our meeting, but he might be there. And then also, there's still a video I kind of want to play for everybody on here. I don't know if you want to do it, or we want to hold off on it. On the hype video. You tell me.
The championship video or the hype video? Which one?
Well, it's the championship video. Yeah, the hype video we played at the beginning. Maybe we can play it again for those that missed it.
This is what I think we should do, because we're about to hit it. If we play the championship video, we'll be at 90 minutes. So let's do that. Let's sign off. Say thank you all so much for being here. Season 4, episode 5 of Soccer's Overtime, our first ever on twitch.tv. If you're listening to the podcast and you didn't know, hey, bookmark it. Set a reminder in your phone. Join us Tuesdays at 5 o'clock for the live recording, if you can make it. Twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers, with even more live guests, even more surprises, even more fun. Jerry and I together every week from here until the end of the MASL season. And as we say goodbye, Jerry, let everyone know where they can find you and what you're up to.
At Cheeto Jerry, you can find me on all social media. Please, we're like 20 followers away on at San Diego Soccers on Instagram from hitting 10,000, by the way. 20.
Closer than that. Closer, man. It was
now?
Yeah, it is closer. Hang on, I'll give it to you. It is 17. We're 17 away.
17. If you're not following us on Instagram, go and follow us right now. Right now. Go do it. Don't worry about following me. I'm Cheeto Jerry anywhere, wherever you can find me. That's not important. Go follow the Soccers. Craig, where can they find you, sir?
Follow me at 619 Sports. Hey, hi, Lozoy, in the chat. We'll talk about that player as soon as we sign him. And we haven't said his name out loud on the podcast because we're being good boys, but everyone who watched on Twitch knows who we're talking about. To be discussed. It's going to happen. For Jerry Jimenez, I'm Craig Elston. Thanks for tuning in to Soccer's Overtime. We're going to play the championship hype video, world debut on twitch.tv on the way out. Talk to you next week. See you at the watch party. Go Soccers! Arena, an all-road COVID-influenced 2021 season, now heads to the Ron Newman Cup playoffs for the beginning of the San Diego Soccers run to what they hope will be an MASL championship. Leo in the corner, looking to cross. Ball deflected. Goal! Tavoy Morgan! And he is a bull raging through Toyota Arena. We're going to go to sudden death overtime. Here comes Cox. What a save, Pardo. Ramos, he's got another look at it. Kicked away by Pardo again. It's Leo. He brings in Gutierrez. Christian Gutierrez in a goal. He scores! The Tijuanense is the hero tonight. Polio! Oh, que golazo! Do or die. Shoot! Score! Christian Gutierrez! You have just sent the Soccers to Kansas City Mo!
Back to Gutierrez, a shoot shot, and a goal!
The flag's up.
It's a goal! San Diego wins in overtime! The Soccers have done it! They are in the Ron Newman Cup Finals!
We are just moments away from Game 1 of the 2021 Ron Newman Cup Finals.
The Ontario Fury win this Game 2. We're heading to that mini-game.
The mini-game is live, 1-1. It's Serta! He scores! The Soccers lead it 3-2! There's 10 seconds left in the game. Shoot! Save! Benzella kicking a loose ball! It's still loose! There's seconds left! It's in the air! It's off the frame! The game is over! The San Diego Soccers have been on the road the entire season, but mama, they're coming home with a cup in the suitcase! A 15th constellation added to the stars! The San Diego Soccers are MASL champions!